Welcome to today's webinar. We're really excited to have you. Today we'll be talking about 5 strategies to help you dominate the mobile marketplace. Sorry for our little bit of delay. We had some technical difficulties on our end, but we are good to rock and roll. My name's Callie, and I'm just here to get things started. I want to get some of the logistics out of the way so we can get straight to the fun with Erin and Cindy. Following our presentation today, you will receive an email with the recording and the slides, so don't feel like you need to, rush through your notes. We'll provide you with that information later so you can review the deck again in more detail. We'll also have dedicated time for Q&A, so don't be shy. Definitely, we encourage you to submit your questions throughout for Erin and Cindy. We'll have some time for that at the end. Now, I'm really excited to present to introduce you to our presenters today. First, we have Erin Sagan, who is our PPC evangelist here at WordStream. Erin's been working in the digital marketing industry for 5 years now. She initially managed our customer success team, where she and her team consulted for over 3,000 paid search accounts, which represented over $500 million in annual spend. So Erin is an expert. She knows what she's talking about. She's also was named the 3rd most influential PPC expert by PPC Hero. So you are all in good hands. Next up, I'm really excited to introduce Cindy. She is our strategic partner manager at Google, and we're really excited to have her today. It's an honor to have her with us. Cindy is responsible for managing Google's key relationships with partners that have shown exceptional customer experience managing digital marketing solutions for small businesses. And prior to joining Google, she held positions in partnerships in the startup world like Meetup and also the MLB. So both of these experts are here to share their knowledge, and I'll hand it off to Erin to get started.
Perfect. Yeah, so what we're going to be talking about today is the state of the mobile marketplace. And I think it's so critical now more than ever to be talking about it. And not only do I think this, I think the whole industry could agree with me here. We're seeing Google push more and more updates that are specific to mobile because they really know that this is kind of going to be the next big thing in our future. So on today's webinar, we're going to start with Cindy showing you guys exactly why mobile is so important and why it's something that you should be focused on in your account. And then she'll pass the reins over to me, and I'll give you my top 5 tips for really getting your mobile game up to speed and ensuring that you're making the most of your mobile campaigns. So without further ado, I'm going to pass the reins over to Cindy.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Oops, sorry. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
And then it's done.
So as Erin mentioned, I have the pleasure to work with WordStream day-to-day here at Google. We've identified them as really providing an awesome experience for end customers with their incredible software solutions as well as their consulting services and managed service products. So we realize that their success is our success, so we are investing in them both with folks like me, supporting them, advocating for them internally, as well as providing them with a lot of cool stuff like access to new betas and really kind of interesting product launches, and of course resources like this. So we're really excited to share Google's perspective about what's happening in mobile, and of course Erin, being the expert that she is, her specific tips to make that happen. So
can you move the screen forward? You should be able to.
So right now, it just says show my screen. So it says, yeah, so it looks like it's a screen share versus presenter controls. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay, so let me move the screen for you because I think everyone can see my screen still. Yeah, you should be able to move it now.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. So if you guys recognize this image, it's one of my favorite all-time movies. This is Gordon Gekko, and this is my wake-up call to everyone here today. Now is your time to get to work. So just a quick little flashback as we kind of think about the evolution of mobile. So I know Erin's longtime boyfriend, Zach Morris, as we were major Saved by the Bell fans of our generation. But in 1994, this was one of the first cell phones. It was called the Motorola Dynatac. I want you guys to think about how much you think this actually cost. It was $4,000 product, which is crazy, but luckily Zach Morris could afford it. And the product, the actual phone was 13 inches long, and the brick is really only 8 inches. You can understand, how massive this product was. It was also 3.5 inches thick. A brick is just 2 inches thick, so it was pretty bulky. I'm sure you guys all remember these incredible Nokia products. I used to love that game where you could play Snake on the phone, where you would click, the set of 23 numbers to move the cursor around. I hear you can still play this online. It's sort of funny to think about using that back when. So in 2005, here's an image. And this is the election of Pope Benedict. So this was in Vatican Square, and everyone's, of course, gathering for this really historic moment. If you flash forward 8 years later, ooh, okay. So you flash forward 8 years later, and you can see this is the election of Pope Francis. You can spot the difference. Now there's 3.5 million smartphones activated. That's the equivalent of Chicago. This is the accessibility of our phones are, due to our Android products being only $40, and our Apple product, which is now $600, and the access is the same. People are able to use these and interact with the world, and have their information and their presence being used on mobile devices. So, devices are just really omnipresent. There's roughly 3.2 devices per person, which is up 10%. And to me, this is one of the single ways to show how devices have proliferated. It's just really mind-blowing. So 8 out of 10 Americans say they are online at least once a day. I imagine that number is even higher as we kind of think about people that are mobile first and using your products to potentially make purchase decisions. So we check our phones roughly 150 times a day. So we might be checking email, texting, or checking some sort of social media feed. But in some moments we have an intent or a need that we're acting upon. And when we're trying to find inspiration or even make a decision. So, these are the intent-rich moments that's really the most interesting and valuable to marketers. So we call these moments the micro moments, and that's a bit of more of what I want to share today. So don't be scared. Mobile is much a part of our lives that we've, now invented a new vocabulary to explain the specific separation anxiety we feel related to it. So, in a recent study, we found over 85% of respondents said mobile devices are a central part of everyday life. And 89% of participants say that their mobile devices signify, connectivity to everything that's going on in their world. So instead of that human interaction, we really believe that these devices are providing our gateway and our interaction with the rest of humanity. So, 91% of all U.S. citizens have their mobile device with them 24/7. I know I'm guilty of this. And another testament to the personal nature of mobile, 75% of adults admit to bringing their phone to the bathroom with them. And I think probably even more at Google as I kind of take a look at folks running to the restroom now. So the bottom line...
I must admit, I went to Las Vegas for a conference a couple months ago, and my phone broke beforehand. And I had this total panic, the entire time. I actually walked 2.5 miles to a Verizon store because I couldn't figure out how to get there without my phone. I looked up directions on the internet. It was like this, I don't know how to function without a phone, and I never realized more how much I suffered from that no phone phobia. But it really, I know for me, has become a part of my everyday life.
Absolutely. I can completely agree. I've just started even putting it on airplane mode at night because I'm scared of the, the concerns with, interacting with brain connectivity. But even that gives me anxiety because I want my phone on at all times, even when I'm sleeping. So the bottom line, mobile is kind of a big deal. And Erin and I clearly believe that. So, how are we using our mobile devices? So there are many moments. Some of these moments is when you're checking the time, texting, with a partner, or catching up with some friends and social media. And while these may be useful to you, it's not really important for the business to be there, because these consumers are, they're in control. It's easy for them to ignore you, ignore brands. Really just, they're choosing and selecting their own experience. But then let's think about the moments that really matter. So these are the micro moments. It's when people are looking for answers. They're, discovering new things, researching something, and they're making decisions. So these are the, I want to know, I want to go, I want to do, and I want to buy moments. And they're the new battlegrounds for customers' hearts, mind, and dollars. So this is what I'm planning on and revealing to you today is really, how these particular micro moments are changing the rules and, why they matter. So the good news is, as marketers, we already have all the tools we need to win. So within your own companies and organizations, you are best positioned to not, only understand these new customer behaviors, but to act on them. And to do this, you need to focus on three things. Identifying your micro moments, delivering on customer needs, and measuring all the moments that matter. So let's talk about a few of these, each of these for a moment. And let's first start really by identifying the micro moments. So think about it. You know better than anyone what your customers' needs are. If I asked you to write down all of these micro moments that are important to your business right now, you'd probably be able to rattle off a great list. But it's worth reevaluating that list in the context of mobile. Ask your customers and your reps and your sales folks, how they're using mobile. How are they hearing your customers using mobile? And the answers really might surprise you. So when it comes to understanding the intent and context, which is really the value we have at Google, these search terms for queries that people are using, how to reach you today on mobile, and it's important to understand and see what those are so that you can try and understand, when someone is at home or on the go or even standing in your store, how are they interacting, what are they searching for, what's their need, and how you can potentially be there. So, really kind of understand that analytics, basically, of, what content of customers are trying to find on your website or app today. So these are all great starting points to understand the moments you need to win. So for these winning moments, when it comes to delivering your customer needs in the moments, mobile presents a lot of opportunity, but a lot of challenges too. So building great experiences that surprise and delight your customers, and really aligning across all of your teams of technologies to make that happen. So you have to consider your content strategy, your digital media, your potential app or website design, or even the integration of all of these contextual signals and data in order to make those great experiences a reality for your potential customer. So you're probably like, oh, how do I even do this? So it's obviously very complicated, and as a leader, you can really just cut through that complexity by maybe building teams that are working together more functionally and focusing on defining those customer needs. So for each, your key micro moments, you really map out people's intents and context, and then walk through the experience really just as they would. Try navigating your site using search, or visiting any content you might have on YouTube, and really see how that interaction or flow really does or doesn't meet the needs of a mobile device, which is just a different context, a different expectation. And then try it by standing, maybe if you have a store in one of your stores, and see how that experience differs. It should, because the needs are different. And then identify those gaps, and focusing on their customer needs, your team and your strategy will have the true north of how to deliver great experiences. And finally, you need to measure every moment that matters. So mobile has just fragmented the path to purchase into hundreds of these micro moments. You know, as digital marketers, we often get wrapped up in the search for the perfect measurement. I know that we're even guilty of this at Google as we're so data-driven. But in the world of these complex journeys that are constantly changing, you know, we don't need measurement perfection. We need to think holistically about connecting all these dots and understanding mobile's contribution more broadly. So to do this, you know, we've done this at Google, and I've seen these strategies work really well. You know, really start with company-wide performance indicators. And they ask, you know, who needs to buy in? Do you need to align e-commerce or store divisions for this common goal of digital? So once you've set that right performance indicator, you know, try to estimate the impact of digital outcomes. You know, the online conversion is no longer enough. So with digital, you know, outcomes can vary, and whether that's, you know, increasing brand awareness or conversions, you know, sales happen, or even a call, or even in a store. So accounting for all of these new outcomes is critical. And so while the tools and measurement are still imperfect, and we're trying our best to try to connect those dots and to innovate products for you here at Google, but it's important to put the measures into place and begin iterating on them. So over time, you know, these tools and methods will become more precise, but only if you begin to build them now. And of course, we're here to help, and WordStream is here to help, and they have incredible products and options available to you to help connect these dots, and we're all committed to your success. So let me dive in a little bit. You probably heard me mention this. So here are these micro moments, and here are the questions that we believe are these intent-rich experiences that you should be helping and guiding your customer towards making this purchase decision with you. So they're the I want to know moments, the I want to go moments, the I want to do moments, and the I want to buy moments. So, you know, aside from the key dates and rising search terms, there are more general questions you need to ask yourself to pinpoint more of the everyday micro moments. So probably the most important question to answer is, you know, what content do people see? I mean, look at all of these screenshots and the variety available. So if the content does not answer the user query or question, then here's an opportunity to change things. So here's a great statistic of, you know, what online or offline research do people do prior to their recent purchase. So 72% said they're using online. So the data is showing us that people are using the internet, people are using Google, people are using their phones to make these purchase decisions. So what are these I want to know moments? So we're satisfying our curiosity. You know, we used to have to wait and go look for information up, and now we can pull it up at our fingers at any time. I just got into this news show called Odd Mom Out on Bravo, and they have this whole episode where they're not allowed to use these phones, and they decide to leave their phones at home, and they go on a date, and they're deciding between, they're arguing between if XOXO means kisses and hugs or hugs and kisses, and they go through this incredible tizzy of anxiety of having this different opinion because they want to know these answers. And this is it's the same thing with purchase decisions and micro moments. You know, 60% of online users say they're looking up information online more compared to a few years ago. And 60% of smartphone users have picked up their phones in the middle of a conversation like I'm describing. And I know I'm guilty of this, and Erin and I have done this together as we've chatted many times. So, you know, brands should pay attention to this. 66% of smartphone users turn to their smartphones to learn more about something they even see in traditional media, whether that's a billboard or TV commercial. So these are these I want to know moments. And here's an example. You know, these are these moments that, you know, really as brands you need to pay attention and need to really kind of think through as the large marketing funnel, how you can, you know, introduce yourselves and find these and, you know, interact with these users during many different contexts. And then there's the I want to go moments. So we're going places. You know, mobile is helping blur the lines, you know, between digital and physical worlds. You know, location is an incredibly important signal to both advertisers and consumers. So, you know, who want to know is relevant to them locally. You know, 82% of smartphone users turn to a search engine when looking for a local business. And then, we've seen a 2 times increase of near me search term in the past year alone. And we've had a 34 times increase in near me since 2011. So third, the I want to do moments. We're doing what we want to do. Consumers no longer have to wait to find out how to do something. We can look it up instantly, whether it's, I don't know, recocking your bathroom, which I probably should do this weekend, or, how to recreate celebrity hairstyles. Searches related to how-to on YouTube are growing 70% per year. And more than 100 million hours of how-to content have been watched in North America already this year. 65% of that content was on a smartphone. And 91% of smartphone users turn to their phone for ideas while doing a task, which is absolutely incredible. And here's the I want to do moments. We're doing what we want to do. Consumers no longer have to wait to find out how to do something and go buy a book at a bookstore of, blank for dummies. We can look it up instantly. On YouTube, we've seen, 5 days of content is uploaded every single minute. It's absolutely incredible, the growth and what we've seen. And this is just an incredibly important vehicle for customers to learn more. And then there's the I want to buy moments. And these are when consumers are making their purchase decisions. They might be looking to quickly replace something they just broke, or looking for more information on a car they're thinking about buying. Well, we're seeing that these moments are happening more frequently. So 82% of smartphone users turn to their phone to influence their purchase decision while they're in a store. And these decisions are happening in the most unusual places too. 39% of consumers report having made their purchase decision in their kitchen, another 28% in their car. So how are you supposed to reach a consumer in their car, in their kitchen, if you don't have a mobile strategy? It's difficult. So mobile has really been this catalyst behind this behavioral change, which is really characterized by 3 things. The immediacy of acting on any stimulus, 2, higher expectations for fast and frictionless experiences and answers. And lastly, unscripted decisions, which make us less loyal to brands and more loyal to our needs in the moment. So really ask yourself, are you prepped to tap into these micro moments? I hope this was a thought starter and a good exercise for you to think about what are these moments, how to think through it, what are the frameworks to make these insights to drive specific action.
All right, so Cindy made some really, really great points. And if you feel like as you're listening to this, if you're kind of like down in the dumps thinking, oh my gosh, like I really, I'm not ready for mobile. I understand that it's such a big deal and so important, but like I am not ready for this. Totally understand. What our goal is today is to kind of help you guys get on board, help you be prepared for the influx in mobile traffic that you'll be getting. So I'm going to share my top 5 tips, the top 5 tips we've been focused on here at WordStream. They will range from things that, beginners are going to be doing and things that people who are super advanced with paid search may not have thought of yet. And if you guys have questions as I go through these, please don't hesitate. Put them in the questions box in GoToMeeting or tweet at me. It's just at Erin Sagan. I'm totally addicted to Twitter. Unlike Cindy, I do not put my plane in airplane mode when I go to bed. I check Twitter throughout the night. So if you tweet at me, I swear to God, I will answer. All right. So mobile tip number 1, set competitive bids. So mobile is really, really competitive, oftentimes even more so than the standard desktop page. Let's look at search impression share by device. That green line right down at the bottom, that's mobile. Look at that and compare it to tablet and desktop, and you'll notice something really, really interesting. You're 2 times less likely to show up on mobile searches than desktop searches. And the reason behind this is impression share lost to rank, right? The mobile impression share penalty is twice more dramatic than its desktop counterparts. And if you're scratching your head wondering what the cause of this is, just, look at your mobile phone. I have my mobile phone sitting right beside my computer. And look at the space available for ads on a phone versus the space available on the desktop SERP. Big difference, right? Huge difference. There's way more space on that SERP, on a desktop. So more room to show ads. With mobile, you're competing for very little ad space with a lot of people. So the best thing to be focused on, you don't want to lose impression share due to ad rank, focus on your ad rank. And that ad rank is comprised of two and a half things. Mainly, we're looking at what you're willing to pay for that mobile visibility and what your quality score is. And then that's kind of a bonus, as many of you know, ad extensions do play a small role in your ad rank. So the way to boost your ad rank, boost your bids. Those mobile bids should be top of mind. I don't know how many of you guys, when enhanced campaigns started, got in and you set your negative bid modifiers for mobile. Maybe you went down to like negative 100 because you were like, mobile, I don't want to deal with that. Well, frankly, you have to deal with it now, as Cindy so eloquently taught us earlier. So if you have these outdated mobile bid modifiers of negative 100 or a severe negative dip, get in, assess them. You may not have to change them in some industries. In other industries, you're going to notice you really need to boost your mobile bid modifier in order to be competitive. So all you have to do, segment your performance by device, understand how each device is performing, and if mobile really isn't competitive enough, you got to start jacking up those bids. Now, you might be thinking, all right, thanks a lot, Erin, you just told me to spend more money. Like, great, that's not that helpful. I don't have all the budget in the world. Well, if you don't want to kind of send money our way, the other option would be to hone in on your quality scores. And quality scores are a really powerful metric here. We did some analysis in-house, and we discovered that every plus or minus 1 point in quality score results in plus or minus 18% change in mobile impression share. Take a second and let that sink in. That's huge. If you don't want to throw money at the problem, this is your other option. And yeah, it's not going to be as fast, and I would recommend kind of doing both, focusing on quality score and boosting your bids. But this is a really, really great option. This is one of the wonderful things Google does to set the playing field straight, to make it easy for people who don't have a ton of money to throw at their problems. So focusing on quality score is huge. If you have more questions about quality score, how it's determined, what you need to focus on, WordStream has a ton of great data and great insight on that. Check out our blog. Tons of cool stuff there. All right, tip number 2, base bids on daily behavior. So you guys are probably all familiar with mullets. I accidentally had a mullet once. It was a tough time for me. I was pretty young and I got made fun of a little bit. But yes, we're all familiar with the mullet. And what a lot of people like to refer to the mullet is business in the front, party in the back. And I think all of us have a little bit of mullet in us, right? Like, your activity differs during the day. There's some times where you want to have your business face on and your business hairdo on, and then probably around 5 o'clock you want to let your mullet loose and have fun, right? You need to understand your target audience's behavior, because that could dramatically impact the way that they're using their mobile devices. So this is some really cool data that Cindy showed me actually through Google. So this is search volume by device on the average weekday. And something's really interesting here. As you can see, during the hours where the vast majority of us are at work, computers and tablets get a lot more playing time. But what happens, especially late at night when you're watching TV, hanging out with friends, all of a sudden the mobile behavior is higher because nobody's sitting at their desk. They're sitting in front of the TV, perusing their phone while they're watching commercials, or whatever it might be. So understand your user's behavior. And this is kind of the standard overarching behavior that we're seeing across our entire population. That might not necessarily be the same as your users, right? Think of a stay-at-home mom. If she is out all day taking the kids to the park, taking the kids to the, I don't know what moms do, doctors, whatever that may be, she might be on her phone during the day and then actually on the computer at night doing things that she couldn't do during the day because she was out with her kids. So understand your target audience, what they're doing, how they're using these different devices. Again, not shocking here. Look at the average weekend day. Mobile spikes. More people are using their phone on the weekend because they are out on the go, certainly not sitting behind their desks. Maybe some of you are, but the vast majority of us are spending more time on our phones. So understand that behavior and then react to that behavior. If you're having trouble figuring out what your audience's behavior is, which, some of this isn't super clear cut, there are some reports you can pull in AdWords, like this sample report that I pulled here, to help you understand when your mobile traffic is coming through, when you're getting your mobile impressions. So you can certainly pull a chart like this. It looks really beautiful, like I'm some amazing statistician that put this together. All I did is pick a couple different tabs in the reporting section of AdWords, and I put together this pretty beautiful report that shows me a lot of really interesting information. So you can totally take advantage of your reporting tab to do this. Now, once you understand this behavior, then you need to make sure that your business is prepared. How devastating would it be to discover that the vast majority of your mobile traffic is happening during people's lunch hour? And then realizing that your whole company is taking a lunch hour at the same time. So people are searching for you when nobody's there to answer the phone. No one's there to respond to all these inquiries coming in, right? You need to understand their searchers' behavior so you can make business changes to prepare for this influx or decrease in traffic from a particular device. So when it comes to mobile, biggest way I kind of react to this information is scheduling extensions. If you're running call extensions, make sure that you're scheduling them during times where you have mobile volume. Make sure your phones are staffed. And frankly, if they're not staffed or you closed for the night, make sure that you're turning these extensions off unless you have a really great answering machine experience. All right, that takes me to mobile tip number 3, which is create engaging content for that mobile SERP. When I was a kid, I spent a lot of time playing with my Rubik's Cube while I had my mullet. And I could spend hours on it. I don't think I ever even completed one, but I spent literally hours playing with this thing. My attention span was incredible. I spent tons of time looking at Where's Waldo books. And I'd be willing to bet that many of you guys remember Where's Waldo from your childhood. Things have changed quite a bit. If you have kids, when I think about, my little cousins and stuff, most of them do not have a similar attention span to what I had when I was a kid. They have no patience for Rubik's Cube. They never want to spend time looking at Where's Waldo books. In fact, I know my attention span is declining because I created this presentation weeks ago. I've looked at this Where's Waldo picture multiple times, and I still have no idea where Waldo is because I give up and get bored before I find him. So children nowadays are using mobile devices earlier and earlier. We see babies reaching for phones, trying to swipe books because they're so used to that kind of phone-first behavior. And our society in general is changing. In fact, Microsoft did a study a couple years back where they discovered that due to this the heavy influence of digital devices, our attention spans have depleted so much that we actually have shorter attention spans than a goldfish. Goldfish ring in at 9 seconds. We humans are coming in at an 8-second attention span. So why am I telling you all of this? Think about your attention span when you're using a phone. It's probably pretty short, right? Because first off, a phone is a minefield. Even if you get on your mobile device looking to do a search, once you're on there, all of a sudden you're getting pinged from every direction. Phone calls are coming in, texts are coming in, Snapchats, the whole 9 yards. It's really hard to focus on the search that you're trying to do when you have all this other stuff going on your mobile device. Not to mention external factors. I use my phone on the bus every single morning when I'm on my way to work. When the bus stops, no matter what I'm doing, I put my phone away and I get off. That's a huge distraction. That totally disrupts the searching behavior that I had. You're at home using your phone, somebody rings the doorbell, your baby starts crying. It's easy to get distracted. And when you layer in the fact that we have these crappy attention spans, our mobile phones are like pinging consistently, we have the rest of the world going on around us, you kind of think to yourself, how the heck does anybody actually complete a purchase via a smartphone? How do we get people to actually search, follow through, and buy something? It's really, really hard. And the best way to do it is to grab their attention early and kind of snag it and run with it. So the more you can do to attract their attention to your ad, to get them to invest time in your ad, if somebody invests a little bit of time into your ad and then your website, they're more likely to follow through in the long run because they've already put some effort into it. So how do you create these ads that connect with people? Well, first things first, this should go without saying, you need to set mobile preferred ad copy. As you can see, mobile preferred ads not only yield significantly higher click-through rates, but in turn, significantly higher conversion rates. So take advantage of this. We actually have a tool in our software that will ping, kind of notify you of any campaigns or ad groups that are getting a lot of search traffic off mobile where you don't have mobile preferred ads set up, because that's just a super easy win. It's easy to write new mobile ad text. And really, in that ad text, it doesn't have to be that different from your standard ad text. All you have to do is infuse it with some mobile-specific terminology. Like I said, we have this tool in our software that will help you identify when you need to do this and write ad text that's catered to mobile. So we've got you covered if you're struggling on that front, for sure. Another thing you want to think about is utilizing ad extensions. Even though we don't see high click-through rates on these, we see ridiculously high conversion rates, because some of these almost intercept your ad and get people closer to that point of conversion. So ad extensions are a must, not only for ad rank, but also to get people to engage with your ad. So app extensions are brilliant. If you have an app, you absolutely want to be running these. I believe 1 in 4 people finds apps using these search extensions, and then on top of that, they're way more likely to continuously engage with you if they've downloaded your app to their phone. Another one I'm going to talk about a lot is call extensions. Call extensions are awesome. They allow people in just one touch to call your business directly from the ad and score a conversion. So kind of in line with that, tip number 4 is make your phone ring. Hotline bling, right? I love Zach Morris. As Cindy's already called me out on, he seemed to crop up in many pictures in this presentation. But my point here is phones were originally meant for calling people, not to be mini computers that we run our lives off of. So don't forget the original mission of the cellular telephone. Surprisingly, people still want to make calls on these things, and we want to usher them to do this. The reason you want to usher them to do this is because phone calls are the hottest leads you can get. When the phone rings with an incoming call here at WordStream, sales reps dive for their phones. We have one support line that's not not for a specific sales rep. And actually once somebody broke their arm because he jumped over a desk in pursuit of the ringing telephone. So it's not just that the WordStream sales reps are bananas, like psychopaths. The reason that they're so excited about getting this phone call is because these are the hottest leads you can get. These are people who are raising their hand and saying, hey, I want to talk to you. I want to buy something from you. And I'm ready to do it. Like, all you got to do is pick up and talk to me. It is so much easier to convert people from the phone. With the desktop search funnel, you see an ad, you click on an ad, you get to the landing page. Average conversion rate off a landing page is 3%. So 3% lead information, and then your salespeople pursue them. On the mobile conversion funnel, we're way more streamlined. Somebody sees your ad, boom, they call your business, the lead is captured, the conversation is had, hopefully you just made a sale. So the way we think of it here at WordStream is click equals call me later, call equals close me now. Just kind of seal the deal. Also want to point out kind of a bonus round here, which is call-only campaigns. These are awesome, particularly if you are not happy with your landing pages. You can bypass the mobile landing page altogether and direct people to call you directly. There's this tanning salon that I went to for my friend's wedding. Not a common practice, but I got a spray tan for my friend's wedding, which she required of me. And I found the ad via the call extension. I called, I went in, I got my spray tan, all was well. Now, if I had seen this landing page, which is frankly just painful to look at and totally embarrassing, I don't think I would have gone to that business. It was a perfectly fine business. They just had a terribly awful mobile landing page, and I would have been completely turned off had I seen this. So this call-only campaign concept was huge for this particular business. And this is a really good kind of workaround if you're not happy with your mobile landing pages and you do accept phone calls. If you do accept phone calls, big thing to point out, track those calls. Keyword level call tracking is amazing because it'll actually show you exactly what keyword, what match type, ad group, everything the call came from. It'll record the call and help you understand exactly what's bringing you these new hot leads. So if you can run any sort of call tracking, Google offers it for free in analytics. We offer it actually pretty cheaply through our tool, and it's just a great way to help capture those traffic, right? You want to capture that mobile traffic. You want proof that you're getting conversions coming through. You don't want to ignore those conversions. And secondly, you really want that tracking down at the keyword level so you can make account decisions based on this information. You know, God forbid you turn off a keyword because you think it's not doing well, but really that keyword is the leader in bringing you phone calls. This is the best way to understand and attribute those phone calls to particular terms. And as you can see here in WordStream, when we capture this information, we'll capture all of the data associated with that particular person, a recording of the call, and it's really helped a lot of people shed light on what's going on in their business and what kind of traffic is coming through via mobile paid search. All right, so that brings me to mobile tip number 5, which I've alluded to quite a bit, and that is to step up your mobile landing pages. So you've worked really hard to get this click. You know, maybe you put extra money there, you took time to set these amazing ads, add all these extensions, you've done all this work, but what happens after the click when people actually come to your mobile landing page? Do they want to throw their phone against the wall? Are they so frustrated when they get to your mobile landing page that they leave it all together and they do a new search and go to one of your competitors? Hopefully this isn't the case, but we see that for the vast majority of small and medium businesses out there, this is the experience that their users are having. So first things first, if you don't have a mobile landing page, shame on you. As you can see here, this is an example of back when Domino's did not have a mobile landing page. I can assure you, I ordered less pizzas late night then. I'm sure many people were in the same boat as me. It was hard to use, hard to navigate, and frankly, you kind of just want to go right back to the surf and order yourself some Papa John's. So if you don't have a mobile landing page, I can't stress enough how important it is. Now is the time. We see things like Mobilegeddon really pushing people to create mobile landing pages. If you do have a mobile landing page, don't pat yourself on the back too quickly. It's a good start, but just because you have a mobile landing page doesn't mean it's a good mobile landing page. So, like I said, unfortunately, most mobile landing pages really, really stink. We created them this way, and we created super basic landing pages because we're of the mindset that mobile is slow. So we create these super basic mobile landing pages thinking, well, they need to load, and I don't want them to not load for someone. But the reality is, mobile landing page download speed is way faster than ever before. You can watch movies on your phone at the drop of a hat. A landing page loads very, very quickly. So if you created this old crappy mobile landing page because you wanted it to be super simple and easy to load, think again. That doesn't work anymore. A lot of people create really simplistic mobile landing pages because the mobile screens are so tiny that they were afraid no one would be able to see their landing page. But again, mobile phones are not that tiny. They're actually growing in size. We're seeing some people with such big mobile phones, they don't fit in their pockets. We also have this misconception that people are dumb and they can't figure out how a mobile landing page works. You know, when I think of my mom, who's not the most tech-savvy person in the world, in the past, she would have no idea how to access, review, and make a purchase off of a mobile landing page. But she's gotten with the times, just like all of us have had to. People know how to use the internet on their mobile devices. And so all of the reasoning why we created these crappy mobile landing pages, because phones are slow and screens are small and people just don't know how to use them, these are all crutches. These are crutches and they're excuses for why we have bad landing pages that we haven't yet updated. And I assure you, if you do not update your mobile landing pages, you will start to feel the pain from it. So we did a test where we gave people the option to either use a crappy mobile landing page or just see the whole site on mobile. And shockingly enough, people were so annoyed by the crappy mobile landing pages that about a third of them were ditching the mobile landing page altogether and going to mobile. And the scary thing about that is this stat. Look at these conversion rates. The conversion rates for the full site on mobile were higher than the mobile landing page conversion rates. So we've been building these crappy mobile landing pages, and they're actually backfiring on us. The moral of the story here is you just have to create mobile landing pages. And even worse than this, these are the people who came to the mobile landing page and stuck around. Only 9% of users actually stick around on a mobile site or app if it doesn't meet their needs. So if you have a crappy mobile landing page, people are getting there, they're not seeing what they want, they're bouncing immediately. So instead of sticking with this kind of old school approach, you probably aren't wearing the same clothes you were wearing in the early 2000s. You probably shouldn't have the same old school mobile landing page that you had in, 5 years ago. So now is the time. Stop procrastinating. Stop putting it off. You need to build a mobile landing page that's really kind of beautiful, sophisticated, and it's what people are looking for in 2016, where mobile is our primary way that we're looking at the internet. Now you might be thinking like, oh man, that sounds like a lot of work or a lot of money, because mobile landing pages can be a little bit expensive. If you are looking for a more streamlined approach to create new mobile landing pages, you can certainly try out our tool. It includes mobile landing page options. You can literally turn your existing desktop landing pages into mobile landing pages at the click of a few buttons. And the cool thing about it is we've done a ton of testing to figure out what actually works on mobile landing pages, and we'll kind of spoon feed you those suggestions so you can quickly add them in to make your mobile site work, creating really sleek, clean, streamlined mobile landing pages that will usher in conversions. So that's all I have for you guys. Those are my top 5 tips. Yeah, we'll store the leads for you on those as well. So I'm going to turn things over to Callie so she can offer you guys a few special options, and then I think we have time for a few questions.
Yeah, thanks so much, Erin and Cindy. That was great. Really appreciate that. Now, before we move into our Q&A, I wanted to take a quick minute to share some special offers with you. So the first up is a free live demo of the WordStream Advisor, and Erin was just talking about this and how we can help you with your mobile landing pages. So an AdWords consultant will show you how you can utilize this tool to help you transfer all your pages over to mobile to get more conversions. Next up, we have a free one-on-one AdWords assessment. Again, this is with an AdWords certified consultant, so they'll walk you through your entire account, show you where you're doing really well, but also point out, some areas of opportunity and, show you how you can limit your wasted spend and improve your quality score and all that good stuff. So if you want one of those, just definitely let us know, and we'll be happy to follow up with you later on today or this week. Now to get to some questions. First up, I see how all of this folds into kind of the B2C, but can you kind of dive in a little bit of how you can use this information for B2B?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, so I think the biggest thing I guess I have 2 points here. Let me start with the first one. I talked a lot about understanding your searcher's mobile behavior. I think this fits in perfectly. If you recognize that you have low volume for mobile searches in general for your B2B offerings, but you do see certain times of day where mobile is performing really, really well, really focus on those particular times of day, right? So really push people. You can set like specific site link extensions, call extensions for those particular hours. If it's early in the day, you might kind of accelerate bidding for those particular campaigns and whatnot. The other thing you might want to think about, I think we get stuck in this whole like B2B is only happening during the day when people are at work. But I think that because we have these computers in our hands at all time, we're seeing more and more behavior shift. I mean, I know I find myself looking up things related to work late at night when I'm on my phone, kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone when I'm watching television, or when I'm, before I go to bed, kind of laying in bed, summing things up for the next day at work. So I do think that we're going to see more and more opportunity to actually sell business to business. I mean, ultimately you're selling to human beings, and they're using their phones at all times of day. So I think we'll see less of a distinction for this type of traffic over time. Cindy, do you have anything to add on that?
No, I mean, we absolutely, like you're saying, understanding the analytics and the kind of organic behavior of where the search volume is coming from is really important. But just anecdotally, we're seeing a lot of growth in mobile in the B2B space across many different verticals. So as you're saying, consumer behavior, like purchase decision makers, CTOs, et cetera, whomever they may be in the B2B space, are mobile users too, and they definitely are using it on the go. And gosh, I work a lot from my mobile phone, so I can understand that user behavior and that research process happening from the B2B level as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary. We can't escape work anymore. It's not like you go home at 5 o'clock and work doesn't continue to happen around you. What was that stat? We touch our phones 150 times a day, something like that?
Exactly.
I'd venture to say for me, like 50% of that definitely has to do with work, and I don't think I'm in the minority there at all.
Absolutely. So next question is, does keyword level call tracking cost more?
So it depends where you're using it from. Google has it baked into AdWords nowadays, which is amazing. It was a huge advancement. Very cool of them to add it in. That said, it's a little complicated. So if you're not super techy and you don't have resources in-house to help you with it, it could be a little challenging. The WordStream call tracking solution does come at a small price. It's dependent on the amount of volume that you get, and you'll find all of the pricing available online. But for most small businesses, they're spending, I would say, less than $75 a month on this call tracking with kind of all of the bells and whistles included. But again, dependent on the size of your business and the amount of volume coming in, so it'd be best to look online, understand our pricing for your particular business.
Great. Thanks, Erin. And that concludes today's webinar. We're out of time, unfortunately. If we didn't get to your question, we would encourage you to reach out via email or connect with Erin or Cindy on Twitter, and they'd be happy to answer any more questions that you may have. So first off, I want to thank Cindy for your time. It was so great to have you join us today. And I'd also like to thank Erin for your time. And again, we'll be sending out the recording and the slides later on this afternoon. That email will come directly from Erin herself, so be on the lookout from that. And again, if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help you, and that's what we want to do. So hope to see you at a future WordStream webinar, and talk soon. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Take care.